order. It's the October 22nd, 2019 meeting, and first item on the agenda is the introduction of members, and we'll start.
Teresa Maxwell, appointed by the Commissioners. Marion Burton, appointed by the City of Delphi.
Everett Snowberger, Town of Camden.
Jack Begley, appointed by the Commissioners.
Cameron Yates, Carroll County Area Plan.
And City Harmon Legal Counsel.
Okay. Second item on the agenda is approval of minutes from September 24th, 2019. In your package, you'll find a copy of the minutes. And are there any additions or corrections to the minutes as presented?
I move to accept the minutes as presented. I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded to accept the minutes as presented. Any discussion from the board? Hearing none, call the question. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Next item, special exception 2019-1, Delphi Animal Hospital LLC. And Cameron, do you have a staff report on this, please?
A special exception was done on 12/15 of 2017. It was approved and granted to allow the property for veterinary use, under veterinary use prescriptions, for boarding animals. That's what it currently allows. The applicant is now asking for another special exception, granting permission for 12 boarding animals, canines, for an outdoor boarding facility. The outdoor portion of the remodel is primarily for sanitation purposes. Animals will not be housed long-term outside. I did do a site visit. This was currently, or in the past it was a bank. And I have a picture if you guys want to pass that. So there's no spacing issues. The setbacks, there's no questions on that. I didn't see any issues with it. There's no properties that are in the vicinity that would be affected. The letters were sent out to all adjoining properties. Nobody come into our office or called. So we have not had any negative feedback on this proposed. Other than that, I looked into it and I was okay with it.
Was it advertised in the paper as correct? It was. Okay. Yeah. So and sign, you have a picture of the sign posted in the time restraints. Okay. Yeah, I know. I saw the picture, but I just want to make sure it was posted in the time restraints.
Sure was.
Okay. So the next procedure is for the applicant to please describe. If you'd like to, come up to the podium, state your name, and describe what you're wanting to do.
Okay, so most of you already are aware that my name is Dr. Shannon Starrett. I'm the sole owner of the Delphi Animal Hospital LLC, located at the property at 1544 West US Highway 421. This property is also known as the Brosmans, formerly as the Brosmans IGA. It was recently purchased by JLSN Enterprises LLC, for which my husband and I are co-owners of. Back in January 2018, I asked for my first special exception to allow the veterinary practice at this site. It was currently zoned B2, and at this point we are asking for another special exception to add a kennel addition off of the already existing building. There is significant demand within our community for such a service. And we believe that this property is ideal to accommodate this service. Currently, most members of the Delphi community must take their pets to Lafayette for boarding purposes. Renovation plans include repairing the roof, gutters, sidewalks, and updating and modernizing the facade of the already existing building, and to add an addition off of the back of the building for the kennel. Part of this addition would exist under the already existing bank drive-through awning, but it would extend further out. As it pertains to the zoning exception, we intend to add 12 indoor-outdoor kennels for boarding dogs. This space will be designated for boarders specifically. Our sick and our hospitalized and surgery patients will be housed as is in our already existing clinic. Boarding cats would also have their own indoor-only space near the surgery and sick ward. The kennel addition would consist primarily of poured concrete floors and walls. The animals will be housed primarily inside in the individual kennels, but a guillotine-style doggy door will allow us to let dogs outside while we clean, change bedding, and prepare meals, etc. The outdoor runs will be on concrete with a chain-link fence. The entire kennel addition would be surrounded by a fenced-in grass yard. No animals will be housed outdoors overnight. Solid animal waste products will be picked up, bagged, and hauled off the property. The clinic addition would also have an extensive draining system which will accommodate the liquid waste products. These drains will feed into the already existing septic system. Water lines and hoses will also be ran in addition for interior and exterior cleaning purposes. We have already been in contact with Angie Brown in regards to any septic modifications / permits that would be needed. I believe that this property is ideal for such a service with no nearby neighbors and the boarders spending a majority of their time indoors. Barking will not be a nuisance. I'm excited to begin this adventure, and I'm dedicated to my profession and my clients and my patients and my community. I hope you too see this business as having a positive impact on Carroll County and Delphi, and I'm more than happy to address any questions you have at this time. I also did bring some preliminary blueprints. This bottom section is the already existing building, so there's not really any changes there. And then this outside is the kennel addition that we're talking about. So. Oh, you got it?
Thank you.
I did color in this version though, to make a little bit more sense.
So everything that you have colored is?
The colored is the grass, because that original drawing that you have is deceiving, and that's why I colored the green grass, because that's not a wall, that's just the fencing.
Okay, all right, thank you.
So you're also gonna do some landscaping around the current structure, is that correct?
Okay. I've got a question, we don't, since you're putting an addition on, typically, we ask the applicants to let us know what the distance from the addition is to the property line, and you don't have anything listed on here.
We don't on that property. Jeremy could probably give you a ballpark. We have, we are getting property surveyed, but we have not gotten that most recent survey yet.
We could measure off Beacon. Does that work for you?
Well, it doesn't have to be exact. We need to
sure.
make sure that we're not into the issue where we're encroaching on the side yard and backyard setback requirements in the zoning ordinance. That's why we typically ask that. If you could add that to this, if it doesn't, it doesn't have to be exact.
You want me to do that right now?
So the property behind you is Dylan's property?
I'm not exactly for sure. He could click it real quick and see.
That's correct, it's Dylan's.
I didn't realize there was 20 adjoining property owners, honestly. I think that's how many letters we sent out, wasn't it, Cameron? Like 15 or 20 of them?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that at all.
There was no response from the letters?
It's 138 feet to the closest point ever.
Okay.
I could write that down for you.
You want to just add that on here?
Well, but how much of an extension are you doing on the overhang?
So the overhang's getting a 30, I believe it's 31 feet.
Okay, so then that would drop it down to 100 feet, basically.
100 feet. Okay. Okay. We just need it for the record and stuff so that we know.
Yeah, absolutely. So that'd be 100 feet to the closest property, and then there's a woods line behind it, and then the side properties.
Yeah, there's, you could put.
Higher than I will.
There's
You
100 plus.
could put excess of 100 feet, or excess of 50 feet, Would this be considered commercial? Okay, and is the side yard back there, is that not different? No, okay. Okay, all right. So that it wouldn't be anything that, or side yard and backyards wouldn't be anything that's even
Okay.
close to the limits.
You can see, I use this, I
Click on the eye, Ken.
I go out with a wheel.
Click on the eye.
I do it the old school method. The what?
The eye, the blue eye up there. Yeah, that one.
Right there.
Now, would our setbacks, they go to the gutter line, is that correct?
Don't you take
Yeah, for the
information?
overhang, but yeah, I mean, as long as we know it's more
So
than.
sidewalks are, they're not.
No,
Yeah.
sidewalks don't count, yeah. So the reason we're asking that is because,
Oh, absolutely.
people in Lake Resort, just like or Canada,
That's cool.
people in Lake Resorts and stuff, they start talking about side yard, backyard setbacks and stuff, and they say, well, I'm not for addition on, and we're going, how far is it from the addition to the
Right.
property line in front of the property, along the road, and they say, well, it's to the pavement, well, pavement's not necessarily the property line. So,
Absolutely.
we've always asked that applicants have something on there that, gives us an idea of
There's,
setback.
It's supposed to be a survey being done, but it hasn't been, it's been on the books for 2 months now, and they haven't got it done, but it should be done,
Okay.
I would think, sometime this year, I hope. But they're all busy,
All right.
Are the setbacks 5 and 7?
20, I believe, on backyards and 7 on sides.
7 on the sides.
Yeah, so we're not encroaching on the
No.
setback requirements, so that's plenty of room. Yeah. And are there any, Cindy, are there any specific requirements for kennels and stuff? Is that a special?
The only thing we have on kennels is it depends on, it gets that designation because of the number of animals that are going to be housed there.
Like any number over 4.
Yeah,
Other than that, I don't.
I'm looking at mine here, I just found it. Portion there for more than 4 dogs, cats, or other domestic animals over 4 months of age are kept, or on which more than 2 such maintained, boarded, bred, or cared for in return for enumeration or kept for the purpose of sale. So, technically it would become a kennel, so. Okay, any other questions for Shannon?
So if we got the special exemption for, we've already housing 4, so we're gonna get an additional 12, is that correct? And then,
Yeah,
what's that?
That's what, is that what you're asking for?
Yes.
Additional 12?
And then, so with that being said, if we wanted to add on to our kennel in the future, would we have to come back and get a, like, if we wanted 10 more kennels, 5 years from now, would we have to come back, or do we fall under a kennel now where we can have up to 45 animals or something? Is there a number on that, or is it kinda like a all or nothing type of variance, or is it, do they put a number on it?
I don't know the answer to that.
That's okay, I'm just asking, cause I didn't know.
Legal counsel.
I think there is for rabbits, and there's nothing for, or there's a fine
Yeah, chickens, and that's an ordinance, isn't it?
chickens and stuff like that, I don't think there's anything.
Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't say
I
anything.
don't recall
I don't
any
think so.
restriction on numbers.
Yeah, it just says that, essentially, you're more than 4 dogs, cats, or other domestic animals.
That's kind of what I
Over
had
4 months of
highlighted,
age,
is what I found.
turns you into a kennel.
Okay,
Yeah.
I just wanna make sure I understood that correctly.
Yeah, then the other requirement would be that, maintaining proper side yard and backyard setbacks and stuff.
Right, that's where you have to look, make
Yeah.
sure you didn't get too close to it.
No, I don't know.
So I think correct me if I'm wrong, Cindy, an exception for a kennel would allow them to expand in the future as long as they are in conformance with all the other zoning requirements.
Okay. I'm not saying it's gonna happen,
Yeah,
but
well,
if it did,
it's best to describe it and
Right.
explain it here, right here and now. And that way, if anybody asks a question in the future, it's already been resolved. Because the ordinance doesn't specifically prohibit it. Yeah, that's Shannon, what your application says is, granting permission for 1240.
Yeah.
So, which is more than the 4, which designates you as a kennel. So, okay, any other questions for Shannon? Anything else you'd like to say?
I think so.
Thank you very much,
Yeah.
appreciate it. Okay, we do public comment, at this point in time?
You should.
Yeah, okay. I guess at this point in time, we'll ask if there's anyone else who would like to speak in favor of
You have
this.
to open a public hearing.
Oh, open a public hearing.
Yeah.
We have to open a public hearing at 7:16, in the evening. Is there anyone who'd like to comment in favor of the kennel designation, special exception? Anyone who would like to comment in the negative aspect of it? You're gonna get stuck up.
She's gonna make you sleep in the rest.
That's fine. Okay, I guess we'll call the public hearing closed at 7:17, okay, so now we can proceed with the board, and in this instance, we would have to designate a motion whether to proceed with granting the special exception,
I need to
or tabling it, or denying it, so.
I move we proceed with the questions. And I'll second that.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion from the board? Anybody else? I'll call the question. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. So now we proceed with questions for special exception.
Is it?
And there are a total of 5 questions that we must resolve. And for each question, we must make a motion demonstrating why this special exception will not be disadvantageous to the community or whatever as a result of these things. And the first question is, the special exception will not endanger the public health, safety, morals, comfort, or general welfare. And the motion must be made in such a manner to demonstrate that it will not.
I move that we grant this special exception. I do not see that it will endanger the public health, safety, morals, comfort, or general welfare. It will make it much easier for people who are needing to board their animal safely to have a place to go instead of letting the animal be in an unsafe situation. A second.
Motion's made and seconded. Discussion from the board. Hearing none, call the question. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Second question, that the special exception will not be injurious to the use and enjoyment of other property in the vicinity, nor diminish and impair property values within the neighborhood.
I move the special exception will not be injurious to the use and enjoyment of other property. They have more than ample setback from their rear property, from their front property, from their side properties, and they own the other side. So I believe this will be more than adequate to keep the neighborhood protected.
Motion's made and seconded. Any discussion from the board? Hearing none, call the question. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Third question, that the special exception will not impede the normal and orderly development and improvement of the surrounding property for uses permitted in the district.
I'll make a motion that we grant the special exception. It will not impede the normal and orderly development and improvement of the surrounding property. It will improve that property greatly in the area.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. Discussion from the board. Hearing none, call the question. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Question number 4, that adequate utilities, access roads, drainage, and other necessary facilities have been or are being provided.
I move that we grant this special exception. They currently have adequate utilities and access roads. Drainage has already been discussed with the county health department, and so that will be improved as needed in requirements by them.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. Discussion from the board. Hearing none, call the question. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. The fifth and final question, that ingress and egress points are so designed as to minimize traffic congestion in the public streets.
I'll make a motion that we grant it as the ingress, egress points on this particular property are well back away from the highway, and they're not going to be causing any traffic congestion.
Second. Motion's made and seconded. Any discussion from the board? Hearing none, call the question. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations, you have a special exception. Okay. Thank you very much. Right, next item on the agenda is findings of fact, 2019-4, Jack and Carolyn Filippo. And this has to do in conjunction with a variance that we were granted. You know. So, in the last meeting, we granted a variance on a 0 yard, I think it was setback, is that correct?
Yes.
And we voted, in favor for all three of the questions. And so the, motion was made to grant the variance, and so I guess we need to make a finding of fact that this was granted in conjunction, in compliance with the rules, and that we're authorizing the variance. Best way to put that? Okay.
I move we accept the findings of fact for this property, variance number 2019-4 for the Philippa family.
Second?
Motion's made and seconded. Discussion from the board. Hearing none, call the question. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
May I ask something? You asked about findings of fact, Leslie, did everybody get Jack, get my email that?
For me, I can get out there with it.
That's all I had. I went back through my bill, so does that correct you?
I think it
That
does.
answers your questions?
Yeah, I think I did.
And we have two other finding facts here. These are not on the agenda, but we'll go ahead and take care of them. Cameron, you need this for your records?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I got back from vacation, they were,
Yep.
back on there.
No problem.
So,
Okay, this is not on the agenda, but we're gonna go ahead and take care of this. This is variance 2019-5. Dave and Emily Truitt, owners, Lakeshore, 10963 North Lakeshore Drive, Monticello, and this was a finding of fact, this was a variance of a 1.8 foot setback on the south side, 4.8 foot setback on the north side of the property, and with a 7 foot setback. The area is accessed by Lower Lakeshore Drive, and Cameron Yates, I guess you went out and looked at the property, is that correct? Okay, and everything is in accordance with the request for the variance?
that's correct.
Okay.
We're doing some.
These are old ones.
They
Okay.
passed, we're
okay,
just doing
okay.
fine. They were sitting on a shelf, and when I got back from vacation, Donnie did not know they were there. So we are gonna clear up the.
Clean house.
Clean house, that's
I
right.
mean, really, on these findings of fact, I mean, it's already been done. The
It's
only thing
been
we have
done.
to do is sign.
The sign.
That's all I have to do is sign?
Yeah, I don't think we have to go back and approve them.
Okay. I'll just go ahead and sign them then and we're done.
Yeah, yeah, we've already approved them, so
Yeah,
yeah.
we would wanna look and make sure everything
Yeah,
kind of
Okay.
look like for them.
Yep.
The ones that were just needing signing, that's Filipino and Truitt. That's where we're all.
We got Truitt here. We just did the Filipino, didn't we?
Yep.
Okay. Truett one done, so that's off of the agenda. And that gets us down to next item. I already did that. You know, you've got bullet phone, right?
Sign
No, that was today.
This
There
is,
was two
You should have two, you should have,
Okay.
Truett and, you just signed one for that.
yeah, you signed, the one you did was Truett.
okay, correct.
And that one should be,
Oh, yeah, yeah, the other one is just, you know, the original order.
Yep.
Very
we
good.
should
Okay,
be,
should be good.
where did you sign this? Okay, there you go, it's on the second, okay, very good.
Yep. Okay, so then that gets us right down to Cindy's report, unless we wanna discuss the possibility of making a, recommendation to the Area Planning Commission
That's your last signature, I promise.
Until he finds the next one.
unless we want to make any type of recommendation to the Area Planning Commission on addressing the definition of a confined animal feeding, clarification of it, you know, and what is considered the setback requirement area.
No, I don't see any need to. Not if you're using this case as your thing. Is that what you're talking about?
No, I'm, in the ordinance, in section 23,
It's been brought up here, so
They'll take care of them and,
it's up to them to.
yeah.
There's two for each one. Yeah, that's it.
okay.
Very good. Well done. Thank you.
You know, it's the board's pleasure on this, whether you wanna address this or not. There's, you know, inconsistency in the copies of the ordinances of how it's written, and it's in section 23. Here we go. In confined feeding operation, some of the wording's been changed, and Marianne's got a different, you got a different wording than I do. And it talks about the structure shall be set back at least 100 feet from any right-of-way line or property line. The outer perimeter of what I have is the outer perimeter of the confined feeding operation, including structures, pens, lagoons, and lots shall not be located any closer than the following setbacks, but yours doesn't read that way.
No,
You know, and it talks about, CAFO and CFO, and it does not include pens or lots. It doesn't include lagoons.
Do you think part of this is just, we've got a number of APC administrators, and let's give Cameron some time to get everything in order and see who's got the most updated records, because I know my book's way older than Mary Ann's.
Mine's 2006, the latest revision on it.
mine's 16.
Yeah,
Ours is
so
16.
maybe
Yeah.
what we need to start with first is having Cameron check what regulations, so that we all have the same current issue with the book, and before we ever ask anybody to review anything.
I'm good with that. Jack, what do you think? No.
Sounds
So,
like a good idea.
so Cameron, could we ask, you know, I know you're busy, but ask you on, this would be on section 23 to find out what the latest wording is on the definition of what constitutes a confined feeding operation, you know, and we're talking about the outer perimeter of the confined feeding operation, including structure. Mine says including structure, pens, lagoons, lots, etc., whereas an older definition, or newer definition just talks about, including structures and lagoons. It leaves out the pens or lots, which found out there was questions on lots, animals and lots and stuff on a building that was being put down along Longcat Creek, you know, so, or a home that was being built, so if you could do that for the next meeting, we'd appreciate it, you know.
And as much as you have going on, if it takes until the first meeting of 2020, I don't have a problem with that. 'Cause I'm feeling you've got quite a bit to get straightened out in there. And we just have one more meeting this year. So, in my opinion, if it's not until the first of 2020, you've got a lot to do here.
I'll turn it to
Okay, we appreciate it. Alrighty, and anybody else have any new business they'd like to include? Going on. Cindy's report.
Most of you are here except for Teresa. A couple of issues that we had to send, I had to send out letters on to get some response on problems. One's already responded, the other one, yeah. I'll send it.
Cameron, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Nope.
You got your report here that we have in the agenda.
Yes.
So, anybody have any questions concerning that? Okay. You're looking at it and saying like, oh, I have not seen that.
You should all have a folder in front of you. But that's just kind of what happened in section.
Okay.
That's, I'll plan on putting something on it every month if you were an idea was.
That was nice.
And you're going to a training thing on
Thursday.
Thursday,
All day Thursday.
all day Thursday, and that's on floodplains or something like that?
Floodplain. It's the starting point of the flood. I don't know the technical term for it, but the training I have to have for the flood administrator.
Okay,
So I have one Thursday and then I have a training next month at Purdue for, not for flooding, for ground stuff, so.
okay. So is the flood thing, is that just a one-day thing, or is that gonna be?
No, it's just, that's the one day
start-
of the
that's
start of many.
Okay,
Yes,
one day of many,
yeah.
okay.
I don't know, I spoke to Doug briefly and I don't know the exact amount of time, but I know it's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot, Doug,
It's
it's
a
a
lot.
lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah, so.
So it's a good thing you have a full-time person.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's gonna help a lot.
We did.
It's on the plan to get
that'll be a big
next
help.
year or everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
That
great.
keep the office covered and allow you to get out, do
Yeah.
inspection.
Yeah. I don't know the training schedule yet, but I'll hopefully find out Thursday.
Okay.
Super, good luck to you.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Anybody else have anything else?
I make a motion that we adjourn.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
That's all, folks. See you next month,
You
same
want a
time,
ride,
same place.
lady?
Thank you,
Yeah.
guys.
Thank you too, Jan.
The first thing I'm gonna do in the morning is subscribe to the Deblo YouTube channel.
Debbie.
You know, there's amazing things on YouTube.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
I never
learning.
call you
I know
Debbie.
that.
Huh? I never call you Debbie.
You
don't call me anything.
The sad part is that I rely on